How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.
What's going on, guys? Welcome into 14P Fantasy. I am your host, Justin Wright. Today, we are talking Dynasty Risers in January ADP. So we're talking from the changes from December to January, just that 1 month stretch. A month back, I think it is, maybe 3 weeks, we did a Dynasty Risers video for the entire 2021 season. From this point on, we're going to do it month by month, tracking those trends for you guys. So we're going to talk about 5 guys based on DLF that have risen the most in value. It's not necessarily just an overall ADP, because obviously, a guy going from pick 100 to pick 50, that's a big jump, 50 spots. But the value of going, from pick 20 to pick 10, that's more valuable to me, because obviously those higher picks hold more value. So some guys may rise more in ADP, but not necessarily in value. So again, these are not my ranks, not how my rankings have changed. This is based off of DLF's evaluation tool and their ADP tool. So before we get into it, check out the 14 Personnel Patreon page. For $2, you can donate, help keep the channel running, help get us to our goal of doing this full time. For $5, you get Dynasty rankings that are tiered. You get rookie rankings that are tiered. You get early access to some videos as well. And then $9, we'll break down one of your Dynasty teams. Just send us the screenshots, and we will give you trade advice and all of that other good stuff to get you ready, for the 2022 season. On top of that, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You're already here. Go ahead and do it. Also, follow us on Twitter if you want. If you're on Twitter, that'd be great. All right, guys, let's get into it. So the number 1 riser, the player that rose the most from December to January, I don't think this is going to be a surprise, it's AMON-RA St. Brown. He rose 79 spots in ADP. I'm looking at it. He went from pick 130 to pick 151, or to pick 51, excuse me. So again, a 79 pick rise, and it's not shocking given the second half that he had. When Swift and Hawkinson went out, AMON-RA stepped up and kind of became a genuine focal point of that Lions offense. Now that he is at pick 50, what do we expect? Is he going to continue to rise? I don't think so. I genuinely believe come, July, post NFL draft, AMON-RA St. Brown, his Dynasty ADP is going to slip a little bit. This could be his peak for this season, prior to kicking off the 2022 season. They're going to bring in a rookie. They're going to bring in most likely a high value wide receiver in the NFL draft. And that automatically is going to drop St. Brown down in ADP, I think. I don't see it getting better for him at this point. He is a guy, while I think he's very talented, I think a lot of his production came from just lack of other weapons and injuries around him. He's someone I'm okay to sell if I'm getting a first round pick. Are you going to get that? Probably not. But that's what it would take for me to move him. Again, people are going to react when they bring in another rookie like it's a huge surprise and he's going to fall in ADP. Whether that should happen or not is different. If you believe in him now, you better believe in him when they draft a rookie. That's how it should be. You should be projecting that change already. Number 2 was Mark Andrews. And Mark Andrews only went up 18 picks. But again, he was going at pick 44. And now he is at pick 26. So he went from a 4th to a high 3rd round pick. He is contending for that Dynasty tight end 2, tight end 1 mantle. I think Kyle Pitts owns that. I think Kelsey is 2 still. And I personally believe Mark Andrews is 3 because of so much production that came with Tyler Huntley and not necessarily Lamar Jackson. However, at only 26 years old, Mark Andrews has cemented himself as a top option. His ADP it very well could rise. Honestly, if they don't bring in anybody else, I expect Mark Andrews to get into the 2nd round, especially in tight end premium leagues. He'll probably be close to a 1st round pick. Mark Andrews is nowhere near his fantasy ceiling. With Travis Kelce continuing to age, Mark Andrews should jump him in ADP, I'd assume, next season, if not at the start of the 2022 year. So Mark Andrews is a guy that is still ascending. Even at 26, he is going to get better. He's someone I'm very happy to trade for right now. Next on the list, and this one makes me happy, Cam Akers is bouncing back in a big way. A 23 pick change. So we're looking at pick 58 to pick 35 here. And I guarantee you in February, he's going to rise again. Cam Akers is going to continue to rise up draft boards, and he should. We saw, coming back from an ACL or Achilles injury, even better, coming back from an Achilles injury, and then balling out in the playoffs to an extent. There's definitely some low moments, but you're playing playoff defenses with great run Ds. So his performance to me is not as important. It's the willingness to continue to lean on him even after fumbling, the willingness to use him in the red zone, the passing game, kind of everything. Again, just 6 months off of an Achilles injury. Come the 2022 season, he's going to be a full year removed. He has the explosiveness. The Rams offense made Darrell Henderson look legitimate. And spoiler for the Fallers video, Darrell Henderson is at the top of that list. Cam Akers is better. He's better than Sony Michel. He's going to be a workhorse. Cam Akers, come 2023, is going to be drafted as a top 6 or 7 running back in ADP, at least for Dynasty. So he's a guy, if you can go and trade for him now, maybe wait till after the Super Bowl, let some of the hype die down. But I am in. I am so freaking in on Cam Akers. He is a guy that, we have J.K. Dobbins on this list as well. Spoiler, 2 guys that are both going to be top 10 running backs guaranteed in 2023. I'm locking that in. 2 guys you should be trading for. Next on the list, we have A.J. Brown jumping up 11 spots. And you think, 11, that's not a big deal. It is when you go from pick 17 to pick 6. A.J. Brown's is interesting because this ADP is before the Aaron Rodgers news. I would expect him to be here, with the Aaron Rodgers news, absolutely. But the 11 spot bump is interesting because not a whole lot has changed in his situation for him to jump up, really. There hasn't been any major changes at the top of Dynasty rankings. Again, he's a top 5 wide receiver for us, but the change that prompted him to jump 11 spots is most likely just an indication of, he's young and he got healthy. He was injured most of the season, so his ADP fell, and I think this is just rebounding from that, kind of stretch there, which is fine. It's a little reactive, but A.J. Brown has always been good. He's going to continue to be very good. We saw it in the playoffs where he just kind of went off and almost basically beat the Bengals by himself because nobody else could. So A.J. Brown, again, this is not, I think, in reaction to anything. It's kind of a overcorrection from the annoying drop he had during the season that shouldn't have happened anyways. So A.J. Brown is valued properly. That's really all you can say here. And to close us out, guys, the last name on our list, J.K. Dobbins. If you just watched our breakout video that came out, a couple hours ago, 2 hours ago maybe, J.K. Dobbins on that breakout list, and he's already rising in ADP. Again, this is just a correction from, the injury discount from tearing an ACL before the season started. He's going from pick 41 to pick 26 now. So he is going to continue to rise in value at 23. When you look at some of the guys currently going ahead of him, you can already project who he's going to be ahead of next season. I love Austin Eckler, but he'll be heading into he's going to be 28 in 2023. J.K. Dobbins should be ahead of Austin Eckler next year. He'll most likely be ahead of Nick Chubb, Saquon Barkley, even potentially Joe Mixon, who fell in ADP after having a great season. So he's already starting to tumble down rankings. J.K. Dobbins is an ascending asset. Again, a third-year running back. These guys tend to rise in value, especially when we know they're talented. Go watch the breakout video for the full reason, we are very in on J.K. Dobbins as a whole, as a player, as a dynasty asset. All right, guys, that is all we have for you. 5 quick names, just giving you some updates on ADP, movers, and shakers. I don't like that. Just ignore that part. Follow us on Twitter. Check out the Patreon page, guys. It's, again, $2, $5, $9, 3 tiers over there. 14P Fantasy, if you check it out. All right, guys, that is all we have for you. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.